Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by Izzy's Harvest Hub. Wow, look at all you new viewers out there. Hey, I appreciate y'all, I really do. Today's video is showcasing my little spare bedroom grow setup. And it does the job. And this is something that I have built over time. Now, I think the number one thing to start out with the mentality as being a new grower, and whether you're bringing your indoor vegetable garden indoors during the winter or you're growing cannabis, I think the most important thing is just to say, hey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start. And I know a lot of people get caught in the mindset, well, I can't afford a $1,000 tent. I can't afford this. Well, I don't have this. Well, I don't have the space. Well, the most important thing is saying, I'm going to start, and you build from there. So yeah, maybe you don't have a room full of vegetables growing or a tent full of cannabis. Maybe you're starting with a small box. And that's the important thing, is just the start. So what we're going to do today is go through my grow room and go through some of the essentials that I believe you must have before you start. And some of the things, a lot of these things you can skimp by on. A lot of these things you're not going to need. And as you decide that, hey, I have a passion for growing, then you can start accumulating and adding and tweaking your grow setup. So that's what we're going to do with this new upcoming grow series. Is I'm going to I'm going to teach you all that are watching this like you don't know diddly about growing indoors. So we're just going to start with the essentials. And for me, it starts with safety. Honestly, safety glasses. When you're working around these LED lights, and when you're especially a new grower, you won't be able to keep your eyes off of those plants. You're going to be in there every 5 minutes looking, did they grow? Is everybody okay? I mean, really, it's like being a new parent. So you're always going to be inside that grow area, and those lights are bright. Protect your eyes. Now, I wear reader glasses, so I need these guys to see everything up close. I have a monitor here and I can read some things. And without it, I can see a mile away, but up close, I just really need these readers. So when I'm in there inspecting the plants, I need my reading glasses on. So what I have are these safety glasses that go right over top of my readers. And they're pretty comfortable and they stay on. They're pretty stylish too. I might wear these to the beach this weekend. No, okay. Gotta have a little bit of fun. So what we're gonna do is just kind of go through my tent, my setup, and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna talk about is a water reservoir. Now, if you're just starting out, you could use a 5-gallon bucket. And what you're going to want to do is get that 5-gallon bucket with a little air bubbler, you know, maybe something from a fish aquarium. You can buy one at Walmart for $10. I have one. The one I'm using back there now is like a $20 air bubbler. So you're going to want a reservoir. So when you get all the water from your tap, it has a lot of chlorine in it. So you want to burn that chlorine off. So having a little water reservoir is essential. And here's what I do. So let's just start with these water hoses. So I have 2 water hoses. Now what am I going to do? Hook it up to the spigot outside and run it through the window? No. I'm going to hook it up to my bathroom sink or my kitchen sink using one of these adapters. Now basically what this is, it's just a little adapter. So if you're at your kitchen sink, you unscrew what's called an aerator. It's just this little metal cylinder, and inside it there's screens. Now some of you old school potheads, you've definitely unscrewed those aerators and stole all the screens out. I know I did as a kid. We didn't have any screens in our aerators. I stole them all. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching this. So what you're going to do is unscrew that, and you're going to screw in this adapter. Now you're going to screw in this adapter, and what it's going to do is pop into this guy. And I guess it's like more kind of like a reducer coupling at this point. So it pops into here, and get in there. And this part hooks to my water hose. So now that I've got that, I can take water from my kitchen or my bathroom or my laundry room and run it straight to my bedroom to fill my reservoir. Now, at the end of my hose, I'm going to use a filter. Now, even though we're going to bubble off a lot of the chlorine, we still want to get as many of the hard minerals out there as possible. Not to get too technical, but it lowers the ppm of the water, so therefore you can add new nutrients. That's a whole other video, but I recommend one of these cheap RV filters. This is from Walmart, like $20, and it lasts, you know, I'm growing like 10 plants here, and it lasts the season. So for 20 bucks, I think that's well worth it. I think that's probably time to move the camera and get back there and show you guys my setup. Now, for you cannabis growers, I probably won't show any cannabis today. I'm trying to keep this video from being, what, blacklisted. Now, if you all follow my channel, you realize that I grow more than just vegetables, or I grow more than just cannabis. I kind of have a variety channel, and I think as time passes, we're going to kind of mesh these together, and I think there's not a lot of YouTubers out there that's growing a little bit of both, so I think this is a happy medium for everyone. Got a couple AC Infinity grow tents. We've got, sorry if the lights aren't the best, we have a couple AC Infinity tents. I have the watering station. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. I have the cloner set up because we're going to be taking some clones this weekend. Pretty simple. Little table sitting under a dresser from the 1980s. Thank you, Uncle Mark. And this noisy motherfucker right here. Let's just start right here. Okay, so we're in the grow room, and this area would be called the lung room. So this is the environment that's outside the tent. This is all the environment that your tents are going to be sucking up via that exhaust to keep airflow moving. So if you're growing just 1 or 2 plants, maybe you can get by without using a dehumidifier. But once you get up to 4 or 5 plants, these plants are going to be drinking a lot of water. And when they drink the water, they're going to sweat the water out. And therefore, that's going to cause a humidity issue in your grow room. And if you get high humidity mixed with this heat, you're going to start growing mold everywhere. And that's not good for the plants and definitely not safe for you. So I think one of the essentials is a dehumidifier. Now, I'm going to turn this off. I run this dehumidifier mostly when the plants are sleeping. So when the lights are off, the humidity really rises. So, for example, right now, I'm trying to keep it at about 35% in this room. I'm trying to keep this tent really, really dry. Oh, for some reason it's not wanting to pick up. So let's bring it over here. So in my lung room, I'm 82 degrees and I'm at 30% humidity. That's really, really low. I want it to be low because all this dry air that's being sucked up from the bottom of this tent. I leave the tent kind of open there, so a lot of that dry air gets sucked up in there and it balances the humidity out nicely. So with this dehumidifier, it does have a 1 gallon reservoir, It fills up really quick. I recommend buying an adapter hose and using a 5-gallon bucket. I'm sucking a couple gallons of water a day from this room, so this guy really stays on. But for now, we're going to shut you off. Okay, moving on. So like this area here is where I would do all my trimming, pruning, defoliating, and this is just my little station for that. Okay, let's move along to the water reservoir. Sorry if I'm making you all dizzy. Okay, now that we have the camera positioned, I have a, I don't know, I think this is a 20-gallon trash can from Walmart. They're like $25. So what I do is via the adapter I showed you guys, I fill that water reservoir and I have the water just bubbling in there. I apologize for the lighting, y'all, but I just have a couple inexpensive air bubblers. And it's sitting back there. It's like a, you know, $25 aquarium bubbler, and what that's doing, as it bubbles, it just helps burn all that chlorine off. That's something you definitely don't want to do, is use tap water. You don't want to use straight tap water when you're growing any type of cannabis plant. Now, when you're growing peppers and tomatoes, they're a little friendlier and forgiving when it comes to chlorine in the water. You know, at home, you guys are outside watering your garden in your container garden with just the water hose. You're not using a filter. But when you're growing indoors with cannabis, I recommend definitely agitating the water, burning all that chlorine off, and using that $20 RV filter definitely is worth it. Now, these two tanks here just get filled with water. Now, I'm an all organic guy, so I just water. That's all I have to do is water these plants. The soil is properly amended, and all I do is water it. Occasionally, I will use like recharge and molasses, but other than that, it's just the amendments that from the soil, and I just use an organic down to earth. So just straight water in these guys. And what we want to do as an essential is we want to make sure we're using a proper pH water. Meaning, like out of the tap, my water is about a 7.5. Now, 7.5 pH, that's way too high for cannabis. What it does is cause nutrient lockout. Now, not to get too technical, but cannabis plants absorb different nutrients at different pH levels. So there's kind of like a little, there's a sway. There's a kind of like a drift, the fluctuation. Your pH could fluctuate from 5.5 all the way up to about 6.5. And if you gradually have that fluctuation, it actually makes for a healthier plant. But in order to get proper pH, we need a pH pen. I do believe this is an essential. Now, something that I have seen in my 35 years of growing is a lot of guys will buy the tester strips, or they'll buy a cheap Amazon $10 pH pen. I definitely recommend you buying a decent pH pen. Now, this brand right here, I don't have to calibrate it. It works fantastic every time. Now, something that you can also add to your arsenal later on is a ppm pen. Now, this reads the EC and the pH. And as you build your grow, you can add one of these ppm pens, because you got to look at it like this. Okay, say you got this race car and it's fast as fuck. Meaning, you know, you're growing some really good cannabis, but you're just fine tuning it. And by using a pH pen, you can, by using this ppm pen, if you're having a nutrient issue, you can always do what you call like a slurry test, where you basically test the runoff water of your soil, and therefore you can kind of gauge the ions and the nutrients that are left in that soil. It's just a fine tuning, something you want to add later on. Now, with these 2 containers here, now I'm an agronomist. I have, we've been using these pump sprayers for a long time, and I find the Chaplin's probably the best. Now, this Groundworks one right here is also a really good sprayer, and the reason I like it is because the rubber hose is really soft. It's not quite as stiff as the other one, and when you're working around your plants, if you have a kind of a soft hose, it's a little friendlier when you bump a plant. So, you know, this is kind of the water reservoir here. Now I have this wand, and it's just pumping water. So what I'll do is down in the bottom of my reservoir, I just have a little pump. It's like a $20 pump from Home Depot. And so what I can do is I can really agitate the water, and it helps keep oxygen in there. And I can easily fill up these 2 sprayers that way. And inside one of my tents, I'm using cloth pots with AC Infinity, kind of like auto reservoirs. So basically it's where you're wicking all the water from a bottom reservoir up through the cloth pots. It works really well. And to fill those, I just stick that in there, and it fills them up, and you have to do that about every couple days. So moving on back here to the air conditioner, which is vented to outside. Now, an air conditioner is, I only grow in the winter months, so I only pretty much use this air conditioner when I'm drying and curing, to make sure, you know, I keep a good 60-60 in my grow, you know, in my drying tent. So having an air conditioner, it's not necessarily essential, but if you're growing during the summer months, it probably is, because once your plants temperatures start reaching the mid 80s, you're possibly going to affect some trichome burn off. So you definitely want to keep, you know, your lung room and your temps set properly. Okay, moving along, let's talk about a grow tent. Now, I use AC Infinity. They're just top notch. I'm not going to fanboy out on AC Infinity, but they make a great product. But you don't necessarily have to start out with an AC Infinity. You don't necessarily need to start out with a Controller 69. Now, this Controller 69, most of you that are watching this channel, you know that the Controller 69 basically just controls when the lights come on, the schedule. It also has a meter in there that if the humidity gets too high, where these exhaust fans will kick on high. So having a computerized grow tent is definitely a luxury, but not essential. I mean, really, all you need is that closet right there. You know, you can grow a nice plant inside a closet. I've done it many times. So we've got a couple AC Infinity, what are these, 4x4s in this room? I'm not going to show the plants today because I'm trying to keep this YouTube friendly. you know how it is. The minute you show a cannabis plant, they age restrict you, and it's really hard to get viewership. So this channel is kind of geared for anyone that wants to start growing indoors. Now, I've actually helped many people set up their grow tent indoors for strictly just growing peppers. So I think that's pretty it. The video is actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, but in an upcoming video, I'm going to showcase what is inside the tent and my grow lights, and we'll go from there. Let's just take a peek. Oh, you're sleeping. Sorry, we don't want that. No, those girls are sleeping. That was a mistake. When you're one thing nice about these tents, now this tent right here happens to be in 12-12 flower stage. So it's very important that you don't disturb them. So when the lights are off, keep the lights off. If you start turning on the tent, say you got some buddies over and you want to show them your plants and the plants are sleeping and you're turning on the lights, that's a no-no. Over here, I think is very important is I have this little exhaust fan, and it's kind of blowing towards this window right here because I noticed that I get condensation built up on the window. So what I'm doing with that exhaust fan over there, pardon me, that little that little Goodwill fan, it's just keeping the air moving over in that corner, so therefore I don't have any humidity pockets back there. And really, that's the most important thing, is keeping your humidity and temperatures in check. That's why having a grow room, a grow tent, or a small space where you can control the environment is most important. Okay, let's just go ahead and move over here. This is an AC Infinity propagator. It's just a little cloner. It has little LED lights on top, and it also is run by, pardon me, it's run by one of these controllers. It basically is just a little computer that you can set a timer and make life a little easier for you. But it's not essential. You can add it on later. Right here, I have a little time-lapse camera set up because I am going to do a little cloning video coming up here next week. This weekend, I'm getting in the tent and doing a final defoliation, and I'm going to take a few clones. So there's so much marijuana to grow. Holy smokes. Maybe one day I'll have my super lemon drop haze on there. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for the grow tent and the grow room. Just thought you guys might be interested in seeing my, I wouldn't say it's bare bones, but it's definitely a luxury to have a few of these things and a must to have some of the other ones. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if there's something that I'm not doing that you would recommend, please leave in the comments. Okay, that's pretty much it. The video is definitely a little shorter than I thought it was going to be. There's really just not a whole lot to it. The number one thing I believe is passion. And when you have passion for the plant and love for the plant, everything else falls into place. Now, I only grow during the winter months. I do this for like 3 months. Now, something that a lot of you don't know is I'm a professional cultivator. Now, I grow for a private facility, and we grow strictly in Acapulco Gold with 4% CBD. And anybody that knows my smoke knows that it is a really, really good medical marijuana. But growing at home with my little pet project, I call it, I love to breed cannabis. I have probably 6 or 7 stable genetics that I've created that I can put up against any other plant. It's a passion. It's a love for the plant. It's whether you're growing a seashell Cosmo or you're growing a cannabis plant. The number one thing is get your essentials and don't be lazy. Now, I only grow for 3 months because honestly, growing it is a lot of work. And I find if I grow more than one run, I find I get a little burnt out. And when I get a little burnt out, I don't give the plant as much love. I get lazy. So number one pointer for me is don't be lazy about this. Have the passion for the plant. And when you grow a 10 out and you're successful with it, take a break. Or, you know, if you just don't want to lose the passion. Anyway, I've babbled enough. I do appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. And this weekend, the tent is going crazy in there. So we're at day 50 on one of my auto tents, my super, what is it called? Super lemon drop haze. The bud structure is looking phenomenal. Now, this is this plant, these genetics I created using a purple haze. We're talking about an early purple haze, like late 80s, a true purple haze. And the bud structure is terrible. I mean, the buds are like little golf balls. They're really larfy. And I was like, well, this purple haze is definitely, for me, it's definitely the best head medicine. But the bud structure is terrible. So what I did is I crossed the purple haze with an old school purple kush. And I just basically did selective breeding until I got the nice head high, that psychoactive purple haze high that I like, mixed with my favorite bud structure, which is a purple kush. Now, if you go back through some of my videos, you'll see that purple kush. And you're actually going to see it in the tent this weekend. The bud structure is like that. It's like that purple kush. But okay, to kind of backtrack. So I took the purple haze photo, crossed it with a purple kush photo, and created the bud structure and the terpene profile that I wanted and the head high that I wanted. So then I thought, well, let's turn this into an auto. I noticed that it was lacking a little bit of the terpene profile, because if you're smoking some old school haze, it's really earthy, it's really piney, it's a little sweet, but in today's environment, people just really are fruity about all these exotic terpenes. So what I've done is I've taken a super lemon haze auto and crossed it with my purple haze cross purple kush. And after a couple years, I've narrowed down the rudialis gene, and I've created a whole new plant that is an auto plant. And it's growing back there right now, and it's pushing day 50. Wait till y'all get an eye. Wait till y'all see this in about another month. You're going to realize that Izzy's the real deal Holyfield here. Anyway, I've had fun making this video today. I've got to find a home for these guys. Hopefully my new AC Infinity tent shows up, because I have like 4 or 5 of these big Cosmos that I want to flower. A big part of doing this YouTube channel is kind of expressing my artsy fartsy side. I love photography, and I love to you know, take pictures of anything in the wild. And with plants, I absolutely love it. And these seashell Cosmos are beautiful. I just got to get them to flower. Anyway, appreciate y'all stopping by. Hopefully I didn't drag this video out too long. And we'll see you this weekend. Peace.